everybody. We're back again to talk about college football. We had just went through championship
Saturday, and it's been through a lot happened.
Yeah, we have. It is technically the 14th week of the season, and we had the championship game. So what we're going to do, we're going to recap the winners and losers of the championship games. We'll talk to the Army-Navy games. Everybody loves
the American
game.
The
American game. Everybody loves the Army-Navy game.
all of the soldiers and men and women that
on Pearl Harbor Day. Today's Pearl Harbor Day, the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor Days.
And salute to all the Naval Academy officers and the Army officers that served.
Yes. Thank you for your service, everybody out there. And then we're going to close today, since we're going to do a bowl preview video, but we won't do it until next week. We'll wait till we get another week or so closer to the bowls to see who's going to be in and out and injuries and stuff like that before we talk about them. But we will close today with a special championship edition
of the dumpster fire.
So let's go ahead and jump into the recap of the winners and losers. We actually had a championship game Friday night. We had Oregon at Utah.
Have you ever seen a duck take a crap in the middle of a field?
I don't think the ducks showed up. I think that was one of those rubber ducks, like you take the bath. But I don't think the real ducks showed up. I think they were still back in the hotel.
Do you think he was with Ernie in the bathtub or something?
I think they knew their coach was leaving because their Ducks coach did leave
for his old alma mater in Miami.
He went south to Miami, and so the Ducks
offensive coordinator went to Akron.
Mm-hmm. So the Ducks lost their offensive coordinator and their head coach, and this game by 28 points.
It was a disaster.
The Utah just crushed them. Utah won it, and the Ducks could care less. Man, they were just there for the free cereal or whatever it was. I don't know. They just didn't. Yeah.
Dad, have you answered my question at the beginning? Have you ever seen a duck crap in the middle of a field?
That's what they did. Yeah, they did.
That was if that was as pure as taking a dump on the field as I've ever seen. I apologize if that's crude to anybody out there, but that was what happened. They didn't care. They looked lifeless.
They looked lifeless for that game. It was bad.
It was just brutalized.
Now, we picked Utah, but I didn't know it was going to be that bad.
Congratulations to Utah, though. They deserved it.
The Pac-12
champions.
Rose Bowl bound.
Utah Utes. It's the first time they've won the Pac-12 as a member.
The first time ever winning the Pac-12.
Congratulations to the Utes.
We've had a couple firsts this week. We'll go ahead and slide on down. We had Baylor, Oklahoma State. I thought I had Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State started out so bad. Interception. It was just.
Spencer Sanders, which their quarterback, which I put an int in his name because he threw so many interceptions.
He threw a bunch of them.
Count them at home, kids. 1, 2, 3, 4 picks in a championship game.
Ooh, how'd you get there throwing 4? Well, I said sometimes the perfect storm just happens. Oklahoma State still almost came back and won.
They were just 1 yard short. That's got to be painful.
Yeah, they went out at the 6-inch line. I don't even know if it was 1 yard.
That was horribly painful. That just felt awful for them.
So Oklahoma was that close, but hey, it's still a loss.
And Baylor got
congrats to Baylor.
They got their 3rd Big 12 title in school history.
Mm-hmm. So we've had a lot of firsts or long times since they've won them this week. We had Utah State at San Diego State. Man, what happened to San Diego State?
San Diego State was ranked number 19. This game was just a pure bludgeon.
And lost by 30. How can you be number 19 and lose by 33? I mean, that's just a good old-fashioned butt kicking. You're talking about butt kicking. They got
somebody's not going to be in the top 25? Jeez.
They might be in the top 35. You lose by 33 points to an unranked team.
Have mercy. Gosh.
That was bad. We had Appy State at Louisiana, them Raging Cajuns.
The Raging Cajuns got... Florida decided to take a bite out of that spice.
Yeah,
they took their head coach.
They took their head coach, but the head coach stayed for that championship game. He left after that, and I think I thought maybe the team would fall apart with their coach leaving, but they actually played that game for their coach, and they looked pretty good.
Well, it was like the opposite of Oregon.
Yes.
Pretty much in every single way, Louisiana was the opposite of Oregon.
Yes, in every single way. They actually showed up and played. We had the national championship game. Oh, I'm sorry. The SEC championship game. The number 1 Georgia Bulldogs at the number 3 Alabama. It was actually, the game was actually played in Georgia. And Alabama, I think.
Same old year, different year, same story.
Same old story. Saban is 16-1 in that stadium, and now he's 17.
With LSU and Alabama.
And now he's 17-1 in that stadium. Why did we ever think that
something different was going to happen?
Something different was going to happen.
It's like
Nick Saban's Nick Saban,
and Kirby Smart is
Kirby Smart, and Georgia's Georgia. Doesn't matter who the coach is. It doesn't matter.
Alabama can change quarterbacks, change coaches, change offensive and defensive coordinators.
Change underwear at halftime. It don't matter.
Alabama will still beat Georgia.
Georgia. That's the way it is. You know, the moon goes around the earth earth goes around the sun. And Georgia's going to lose to Alabama.
Some guarantees in life.
I'm going to pay taxes. I'm going to die one of these days.
And Alabama's going to beat Georgia.
Alabama's going to beat Georgia whenever they play. That's just life. That's just life. You know, if it didn't happen, you'd be like, "Wait, what?
Is this the apocalypse?
Is this apocalypse? I mean, Georgia beat Alabama." So,
Bryce Young threw for 400 yards and 3 or 2 touchdowns.
Threw for the most yards in the history of the SEC championship game.
How do you make that's a coaching accomplishment for Nick Saban, just one of the many he's had.
Yeah, he knows how to motivate, man. Nick Saban, I'm not an Alabama fan, but the man is the best. He is the best coach. He is the best coach out there, bar none, anywhere, anyhow. Match him up against anybody. He took a team that had 3 points with 40 seconds left with Auburn the week before, and he put up 41 points on the best defense we've seen in 20 years.
How do you do?
Georgia was polishing their championship rings, and Alabama was mad.
No Gump wanted to see that.
Nope, he did not want to see that. Wasn't eating that right, Posen. Man, they went in there and just they hammered them, dude. They were angry. They played angry.
They played like they
and
wanted
Georgia played afraid. Like I don't know.
Like they usually do.
Like they normally did. Georgia normally plays like they do in the championship game. You know, the score was almost the exact same score as last year's score. That is so. We'll jump on that. We had Houston at Cincinnati.
This is a crowning achievement. A crowning achievement.
The first time ever Cincinnati has been undefeated.
And this will be rewarded later.
Yes, it will be rewarded later. They are going
to the playoff as a 4 seed.
They are a 4 seed in the playoff. They're going to end up playing Alabama, which, you know, again, we'll wait and talk about the bowl games later. But, man, fantastic for the Bearcats.
And for the group of 5 as well.
It is, yeah. Now I wish they'd expand the playoffs to 8 or 12 so we can see more football. But, hey.
It's an advantage in so many ways. I wish the committee would see that.
It is. I mean, think, we don't get to see Ohio State in the playoffs. We don't get to see Notre Dame in the playoffs. We don't get to see Oklahoma State in the playoffs.
No,
we don't get to
Ole
see
Miss or Baylor.
None of those. We don't get to see any of those in the playoffs. Why? Because the committee won't make it bigger.
Somehow.
Who would not want to see Alabama take on Baylor in round 1? Sign me up. Give me some of that. Come on. Maybe one of these days we'll get a bigger playoff.
I hope it's soon.
I hope it's soon, too. We had Michigan at Iowa.
Bigger game Jim.
Man, he flexed those muscles and kicked the living crap out of Iowa, dude. 42-3.
Yeah, what a year for Jim Harbaugh.
I'm actually happy for Harbaugh. He's never won
the Big Ten title.
The Big Ten title.
This is his alma mater. He played at Michigan as a quarterback.
Came back there to take the program to the next level. It took him 8 years.
But he did.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to Jim, bigger game Jim Harbaugh and his Big Ten championship.
And now your reward is to go to the playoffs and play Georgia in the first round. And if you win, Alabama in the second round, probably.
How do you do?
How do you do, Mrs. Riley? Okay. We had, last but not least, we had Pittsburgh taking on Wake Forest.
This was in the later half of the second half. Pitt pulled away.
Man, Pitt's quarterback, what's his name?
Kenny Pickett.
He
is good.
Is going to be in the NFL.
He is good.
He is going to be starting in the NFL. The man is a good football player.
He threw for 40-plus TDs, and the only other player that's done that is Alabama's quarterback, Bryce Young.
He looks poised. He looks confident. If Pitt would have been in the SEC playing like they're playing,
they would have been in the playoff discussion long ago.
Yeah, and he would have won. Pitt probably winning the Heisman, which probably going to be Alabama's quarterback now. But man, I think he's probably the best quarterback out there. He is just fantastic. I hadn't watched Pitt much all this year. Tennessee played him once, but you don't watch the ACC much. And guess their first time winning the ACC.
First time for the Pitt Panthers winning the ACC Conference Championship.
First time for Utah winning the Pac-12. Jump all the way east. First time Pitt winning ACC. Congratulations, Pitt Panthers. And that is it. That is our recap of the championship games. We will go ahead and talk about the bowl games in our next video, but we will go ahead and cover
the most American game of all.
The Army-Navy game.
This is probably one of my favorite games of the year.
I love the matchup. In the past, Navy's been sort of a powerhouse. But
the Army has been rising a little bit recently.
But Navy's struggled this year. They've struggled a little bit. They lost a lot of their players, a lot of their good talent.
Good old classic punch you in the mouth over and over.
And now Army is the more powerful of the two. Army should win this game.
Army should. They have more talent this year than Navy does.
Yeah.
It's the game between teams that no one can hate and everyone likes.
Yep.
It's the most American patriotic game of all the others.
It is. It's probably gonna be a low scoring game because we're not gonna have a lot of passing.
It's triple option. It's run the ball over.
Run the ball, baby. Run the ball, baby. Run the ball.
Old school as old school gets.
It sort of looks like the Patriots. Run the ball. 3 passes. That's probably what's going to happen. Army will probably have 3 passes.
Yes.
And that's probably going to be it. So, but it's fun to watch. That's what you look. It's going to be a low scoring one. I think Army's favored by 7.5. I think Army will probably pull that. Again, Navy's normally a stroke. I'm sort of a Navy fan because one of my favorite quarterbacks ever in the history of the NFL is
Roger Staubach, who was Navy's QB.
He was a QB for Navy.
But I kind of side a little more with Army because my aunt is a military nurse.
Mm-hmm. So we have fun watching it. It doesn't matter to me who wins the game. I just love watching the game.
It's just American.
It's just an American game.
It's a national anthem. Everything is all up and bright.
Yes,
it's punching each other in the face. It's just a spectacle.
It's just a spectacle to watch. Yeah. So the Army Navy game will be fun to watch. Army will probably win it. But who cares? It's just a fun game to watch.
Yes.
Now we'll go ahead. We're going to have our special championship edition of Dumpster Fire of the Week. So check it out.
Dumpster Fire of the Week.
Yeah. And our Dumpster Fire of the Week is
the Georgia Bulldogs.
The Georgia Bulldogs. What happened? What happened? This was a generational defense, dude.
They were averaging 6 points
They were averaging giving up 6 points a game on defense.
They looked so dominant throughout the year.
They were. People were saying this is a defense of a generation. Nobody hasn't had a defense like this for 20 years. And what do we get?
Georgia doing their thing and crapping the bed in an SEC championship.
The most points Georgia had given up the entire year was 17 points to Tennessee. They gave up 24 points to Alabama in the second quarter. They gave up 24 points in one quarter.
That's a disaster. That is a disaster.
Who didn't show up?
Georgia
didn't. How can you not show up to the SEC championship game?
I think they might have thought they just had this in the bag or something.
We have been beaten everybody. We are Georgia. No, let me see this right here. See what that says right there. This is our dumpster fire. What does it say? It's 100% soft. You want to know where this was made? In Georgia. It was the crab. It's soft. They were soft, man. You go into a game where you've been giving up 6 points and you give up 41. And 24 in one quarter?
That's on Kirby. That's not on anybody else. That's on the coaching staff.
Now, the thing that I question about this, did Saban break them?
Did they break their spirit?
Do they go into the Georgia game now, doubting them? To the Michigan game now, doubting themselves?
Do they?
Do they doubt themselves? Will they play? Will they gel back together? I don't know, man. Normally when a team gets crushed
brutally like that.
That was a brutal I'm gonna take everything you have.
I mean,
and you can't stop me.
Doesn't Nick Saban always Mortal Kombat style rip the heart out of Georgia
Oh, he
every
was
time?
finish him. Ripped him. It was that was brutality, dude. And honestly, I don't know
if Georgia's gonna have their swagger back.
The good thing is, I mean, they've got 3 weeks to get over it. So, I mean, they'll lick their wounds. I mean, that's pretty bad wounds. That's some deep cuts there. They'll lick them wounds.
They're licking the wounds of all of their past failures in the past 40 years.
So, honestly, this is going to tell us how good of a coach Kirby really is.
This should be the tale of what Kirby. This is Kirby's biggest chance I think I've ever seen.
They will either gel and come together and be the dominant team they've been all year,
or they'll fall apart,
or they'll fall to pieces, dude.
This is the biggest chance for Kirby. If Kirby doesn't win it this year,
it's done, dude. It's
I don't see any other chance.
No, if you can have the team that you just had and not win the championship,
then I don't know how else you're going to do it.
No. He's going to go the way of Mark Richt. You can win all the 10-win seasons you want to, but if you don't win a championship at Georgia, they're going to eventually fire you. Of course, they haven't won a championship in 42 years
About
now.
to be 42.
So they went through a lot of coaches.
Yes.
But Georgia expects a championship. They've got probably the most talent
over the past 40 years,
and
realistically.
And they've done nothing with it. So
that's the whole tale of their entire football program.
But yeah, Georgia, man, honestly, I picked Georgia to win. I really thought they would.
I really thought that they would win this time. I thought things were going to be different.
But dude, I mean, how much of took away the prize and here's your dumpster fire, Georgia.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing
the
same thing
and thinking you'll get a different result by doing the same thing over and over and over.
Georgia sports, the definition of insanity.
Yes, I really thought this was their year.
I really thought Georgia
and it still may be. They've got the talent, they've got the team.
They just need to.
But can they recover?
Rebound?
Can they rebound?
Adversity makes a champion.
Can they recover from this?
Adversity makes a champion.
Or crushes you.
Yes.
Got the pressure can make a diamond, or it can just crush it into dirt. So does Georgia come out a diamond, or a pile of crap?
Only time will tell.
We've got 3 weeks, and we'll sort of study them a little bit over the next 3 weeks. We'll get into the rumor mills, get into the study, and we'll see if we can figure out what Georgia's turning to. But other than that, that is it. We are finishing up with the dumpster fire this week, and next week we'll come out with some bowl predictions probably towards the middle to the end of next week. I think the first bowl is next Friday. I mean, we're already creeping up on some bowls. The 17th, I think, is the first bowl. So we'll creep up and we'll talk about some bowls for you. Other than that, that's it for this week. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button.
Go bowling, everybody.
Let's go bowling. Hit the groovy baby button over here somewhere. See you next week.
See you next week.